Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at kind of a different type of trade here. Just let me get my stops and targets in place here. Go for 10 ticks, and then this last one I'm going to bump out a little bit farther. Now, I want my target to be 2 to 1 on that second. Since I have to use a little bit of a larger stop on this one, I'm going to go 2 to 1, and that puts my target right down here, 65 or so. Yeah, 65 will work. We'll go one ahead of it, 65.1 for right now. So what I'm looking at here is gold has been attempting to rise higher here, but that was right after it made this really kind of weak attempt at the lows, and then as soon as it made those lows back here at about 7:30 this morning, it just completely rocketed right back up to the upside again. So it's just been kind of lackluster on both sides, and I'm kind of expecting the same thing up here. We blew off the lows here, reversed all the way back up. We blew off the highs here. I'm expecting a reversal right back down. Now, it so happens that we are in a resistance area, 68.3. I waited for us to close outside of it and then limited in back off of that level again. Now, because I did that, that allowed me to take a little bit of a smaller risk than I would have had to, but it's still bigger, than I'm really used to or that I really like taking. So because of that, I'm using my target a little bit farther down, 65.1, just so I can get that that kind of 2 to 1 area that everyone kind of likes to be in, and that gives you just a little bit better risk reward on the trade. So we've already actually gotten that first target off, and because of that, I wanted to see a little bit more continuation here, but once we test the 66.5, then I'll move my stop to break even. But right now my stop it's only 2 ticks away from its entry, and we've actually already hit our first target. That was a 10-tick first target, so we have $200 locked in on the trade already. Now we're just waiting to see a little bit more continuation. Once we tag this 66.5, my stop will go to break even, and we'll just look for a little bit more continuation back to the downside, see if we can get that 2 to 1 risk reward filled at 65.1. So we've already gotten 20 off of the trade, 2 off at 10, and we're looking to take 2 more off down at 32. So it would be a really nice trade to the downside there if we can get it filled. So it'll be 64 ticks on that last one, and we've already locked in 20, so that means it's $840 on the trade if we can get it to drop a little bit lower. So again, we've got that first target off already. I'm looking to move my stop to break even once we hit the 66.5, and then we'll wait and see if we can get that 65.1 filled in a little bit. All right, we're back. We're closing in on our target here, but it does, we're running into the BMT, and because we're running into the BMT, I've got to be a little bit more conservative on where I'm placing my targets and my stops. So my stop right now is locked into 67.3. We actually came 1 tick away, and because we came 1 tick away, I've got to lock my stop in a little bit tighter. I'm not going to risk giving any of this back. I don't want it to come 1 tick away, not fill me, and then run the opposite direction, and that's kind of what happened there. So we actually bounced back and then hit our stop on that. Now, hopefully you can see kind of what happened there. We dropped off of that low, we came down, and that allowed us to lock our stops in a little bit tighter on the way down here with those couple swings on the way, but as soon as we started hitting that BMT, we're getting a little bit of bouncing. Now my target was 1 tick below that low, and it didn't quite test it, and it came 1 tick away, and whenever it does that, I'm going to lock my stop into where I can get my stop in. Otherwise, it just becomes too high risk. I end up, potentially giving back everything. It's just not a good place to be. So instead of that bigger target that we were looking for, we got stopped out a little bit of the ways back at 22 ticks. Not quite that 30 that we were looking for, but still 22 isn't too bad. So 22, we took 2 contracts off there, plus the 20 that we already took off previously. That gives us 64 ticks on the trade, $640 on the downside. Nice quick little move lower. It's right after the open, 8:30 in the morning. Now yesterday was a holiday, so you're kind of expecting today to be a little bit slower, but so far we're actually seeing some pretty good price action. So that's going to be the trade for today, 64 ticks. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.